So in February, we have started a program called barrel grading. And basically barrel grading is looking at every cooper that we bought for the previous vintage and tasting through those as a team. Oren, myself, Rachel, Carlos, and basically assigning A, B, C, A plus, B minus, C plus on whether or not that barrel worked really well for that lot of wine, whether it's Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Syrah, Cab, or Grenache. We use more than one barrel type because to me, life is complicated, things are complicated. It's never just one size fits all. I've never felt that way about winemaking. So over the last 15 vintages, I've come to realize that there's so many nuances with every barrel, and then every variety needs maybe something a little bit different. We're working with 18 coopers at the moment, and that might be 6 coopers or 7 coopers with Pinot Noir. There might be 7 coopers with Chardonnay, and then so on and so on with Syrah and Grenache. There might be some overlap, but we are really trying to design every program to a particular cooper. Picking cooperage is an important part of the process, but it really comes about as a result of trial and error, and it's often part of it's the journey through winemaking. I have coopers that I've been working with since I came to California. There's coopers that I've met along the way or was introduced by a friend or a colleague that said, hey, you gotta try this out. What's cool about the cooperage list that we're working with at the moment, there's a lot of very small mom and pop operations that are really focused in on making the best for our wines. And that means maybe tailoring how they're toasting or the forest selections, etc., to really try to make Ramsgate wines the most compelling as possible. We're trying to achieve a lot of things with our barrel selection. Ultimately, what I would love for Ramsgate is to stand on its own, to have what we would call a house style that is unique to what we're doing here. I'm not looking to do a cover of my favorite song. I want to create my own songs. So at Ramsgate, we're really looking for unique expressions to really enhance, whether it's a single vineyard wine or our Sonoma Coast series or our Cellar Note series. We really are looking for uniqueness in everything that we do.
I think what I enjoy most about the diversity that we have with our barrels is that obviously each of them is going to be different. An analogy that Joe has said before, it's almost like a spice rack if you were a chef. And I think it's important to add diversity to your cooperage program. And I think it just adds to the complexity of the wine when it finally gets to bottle and to the consumers. You don't really want all the wines to be the same. And having that diversity in cooper really adds to complexity and differences in them.
So this is really the start of a really long-term process. I'm not looking to have an end goal per se, but one of the goals that I have currently is, as we dive into understanding each site more specifically over the next couple of years, our hope, Oren and I's hope, is that we can start identifying certain coopers that work really well with a particular lot. I'm tasting Hyde Chardonnay right now, and what we're starting to see in Hyde is that there's 2 or 3 coopers that of maybe the 7 that we're using in Chardonnay that really works well with this particular vineyard. And the goal is, over time, perhaps Hyde Chardonnay has a set of barrels that we're using mostly just with Hyde Chardonnay. And that might be different than our Estate Chardonnay or El Diablo Chardonnay. The goal is really diversity. We want really engaging wines, and we think this is one small element to achieving that.